In 2024, one AI tool did what no technology had done before. It made Hollywood directors afraid. It made billion-dollar studios pause. And then, quietly, it lost everything it built. Nobody talks about that part. Until now. My name is not important. What matters is this. On February 15, 2024, OpenAI published a blog post. No grand event, no press conference, no countdown, just a post with 3 videos attached. And within hours, the entire creative world was asking the same question in 100 different rooms. Is this real? And if it is, what does this mean for us? This is the story of Sora, the AI that changed everything, and then lost the race it started. To understand why Sora broke the internet, you need to understand what the world looked like just before it arrived. Making a professional video was brutal. Cameras worth more than a car, location permits, lighting rigs, actors, a crew of 50 people who all needed to be paid, fed, and coordinated. And after all of that, weeks of editing, color grading, and visual effects work, just to produce a few minutes of footage that looked cinematic. Even a simple 30-second commercial could cost $50,000. And the AI tools that existed before Sora, they were a joke. Runway and Pika Labs could produce maybe 2 to 4 seconds of video. And those seconds looked broken, faces melted, hands had 8 fingers, dogs walked through walls. Physics simply did not exist. The belief in the tech world was unanimous. Writing, AI cracked it. Images, AI cracked it. Music, getting close. But video had time, motion, cause and effect. Lighting that shifts as a character moves. A world that must stay consistent from frame to frame to frame. Everyone agreed. Video was the final wall, the one AI could never climb. Then, February 15th happened. There was no press conference, no countdown, no Steve Jobs moment on a massive stage. Just a blog post, quietly published on a Tuesday morning, with a plain, almost boring title. Sora, creating video from text. But attached to that post were sample videos. And the moment people pressed play, everything changed. A woman walking through Tokyo at night. Rain falling. Neon lights reflecting in the puddles. Her coat moving naturally with every step. People paused it, rewound it, zoomed in, looking for the glitches. There were almost none. A woolly mammoth thundering across a frozen plain, breath visible in the cold air, fur swaying with each massive stride. A drone gliding over the Swiss Alps at sunrise, perfectly stable, perfectly lit, completely convincing. Within 4 hours, the post was everywhere. And in Hollywood, in animation studios, in advertising agencies, the same question was being asked in 100 different rooms at the same time. Is this real? And if it is, what does this mean for us? Because here is what truly separated Sora from everything before it. It didn't just generate pixels, it understood the world. Previous tools worked by predicting the next frame based on the last one. Simple and shallow. Which is why they collapsed after 2 seconds. Sora was built differently. It used a diffusion transformer architecture that in plain language means this. Sora understood physics, motion, depth, cause and effect. If wind blows through a wheat field, every stalk bends. If someone picks up a glass of water, the water moves the way water actually moves. If a character throws a ball, the ball arcs through the air correctly. And Sora remembered. A woman in a red jacket at the beginning of the scene was wearing that same jacket at the end. The world didn't reset mid-clip. 60 full seconds. Perfect physics, perfect memory, generated from a single sentence. Marcus, sitting at his laptop that Tuesday morning, understood exactly what he was looking at. The final wall had been climbed. The reaction from the creative industry didn't come slowly. It came like a wave. The Writers Guild of America, who had just fought a grueling 148-day strike in 2023 over AI rights, immediately went on high alert. Visual effects artists started asking questions that had no comfortable answers, but the moment that made the whole world stop came from an unexpected place. Tyler Perry, one of the most powerful independent figures in Hollywood. He had been in the middle of an $800 million expansion of his Atlanta studio complex. New sound stages, new production facilities, years in the making. He stopped it completely, he said publicly, after seeing Sora. Investing further in physical infrastructure felt like building a horse stable the week the first car was invented. Why construct sets when a machine could generate any world you imagined? $800 million paused because of a blog post and 3 sample videos. That was the moment even the loudest skeptics went quiet. But not everyone was afraid of losing their job. Some were afraid of something far darker. Think carefully. If Sora could generate 60 seconds of photorealistic video from a text prompt, what was stopping someone from typing this? A politician confessing to a crime they never committed. The implications were immediate. Elections, court cases, moments that never happened, made to look like they absolutely did. OpenAI knew this. They ran red teams, engineers hired specifically to break Sora, to find every dangerous use case before the world did. They built in safeguards. Sora would refuse to generate real people's faces. It would watermark every video with an invisible digital signature. But critics asked the harder question. What happens when someone builds a version of Sora with none of those safeguards? Nobody had a clean answer. What happened next made that question even more urgent. For most of 2024, Sora lived behind closed doors. A small group of selected artists and filmmakers got access. The work they produced was extraordinary: short films, music videos, experimental pieces that blurred the line between reality and generation. The world waited. The anticipation built for months. Then, December 2024 arrived. OpenAI opened Sora to the public, and within 48 hours, the servers crashed, completely overwhelmed. But when the dust settled and people finally got access, something unexpected happened. The outputs were inconsistent. The 60-second photorealistic videos from the February demos, achieving that quality required perfect prompting, multiple attempts, and a lot of patience. The gap between the promise and the product was visible, and the internet, which had built Sora into an almost mythical creation, noticed immediately. The comments sections filled with a single, uncomfortable question. Is this actually what we waited 10 months for? And then, quietly, confidently, the competition arrived. While OpenAI was managing server crashes and disappointed users, a Chinese company called Kuaishou released something called Kling AI. No fanfare, no viral blog post, just a video tool that many creators rated above Sora in output quality for free. Then Google DeepMind entered the room with Veo 2, more reliable, more cinematic, better at handling complex motion and longer sequences, available inside Google's own platforms, reaching billions of users instantly. Within months of Sora's long-awaited public launch, the tool that had frozen Hollywood paused an $800 million construction project and rewritten the conversation about AI forever, was no longer the undisputed king. It was one option among several. The throne that Sora had built, someone else was sitting on it. Here is the real Sora story. Not the technology, not the drama, not even the fall from the top. Sora did something that no amount of competition can undo. It proved the wall could be climbed. Before February 15th, 2024, the world believed video was beyond AI. After February 15th, that belief was gone forever. The race began because Sora started it. Every tool that came after, Kling AI, Veo 2, everything that will come next, exists because Sora showed the world it was possible. Empires are not always remembered for how long they lasted. Sometimes they are remembered for what they made inevitable. Sora didn't rule the world of AI video, but it built the world that every AI video tool now lives inside. Marcus eventually came back to his laptop. He stopped doing the math about what he might lose, and he started building something new. That is the most human part of this story. The machine changed the world, and then the world kept moving. Every empire leaves something behind. Some leave ruins, some leave roads, some leave revolutions. Sora left a question that no one in the world of AI has fully answered yet. Who builds the next one? And will they do it better? That story is still being written. If this hit different, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel at Empire Untold It, because one subscribe from you means one more story I get to tell.